XRP Future Millionaire here. It's 8:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you know, the market crashed. We want to know why, which we were predicting, but we did have a catalyst that helped play through this. And it's not over yet, guys. This is an extreme warning to all of crypto. Anybody who holds any crypto, planning on buying any crypto, why it's imperative you watch this until the end of this video. You pay attention to what I'm about to read with the Bitcoin tanked after the Fed minutes were released. This is why. I'm going to give you a chance to hit that like button. We did fantastic on the last video. I believe we're already over 1,000 views, and it's only been out for like 2 hours. But we're over 100 and something likes. I'm very happy. And Randad Hoy, welcome to the Telegram, and welcome as the first member of Tom's Army in the year 2022. I'm blessed, honored, and privileged for you to take that first member, the first member of 2022. I'm privileged that it's you. A long time OG of the channel. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to hit that like button. Then we got to go into this article. Then we got to go into the charts. And then I'm going to release this so you guys can see this. It's important, imperative, because we might have another drop right now. Like it's about to happen imminently. So let's get through the intro and do what we got to do. Okay, so first things first, let's see what's going on in the market. As we see, it's already downturn again, so we got to hurry up and get through this article. XRP's just got the handle at 77 cents, but it's about to come through. We're trading between 75 support, 80 cents resistance. We've got a 707 wick down that we're going to break here shortly. Bitcoin came all the way down to about 42,400 again. I believe this is just the start of something a little bit bigger, so we're going to get into that shortly. So we got to read this, though. Bitcoin tanked after the Fed minutes were released. Here's why. And this was released at 4:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so just 4 short hours ago. Bitcoin slid sharply after the Federal Reserve released minutes of its December meeting, with policymakers indicating growing unease over inflation and the potential for interest rates to start rising as soon as this March. Bitcoin was down more than 4% to 44,200, falling from around 46,000. Soon after the Fed made the minutes, Fed officials indicated that inflation readings and tight labor conditions could warrant an interest rate increase sooner or at a faster pace than participants had earlier anticipated. The minutes from the December 14th and 15th meeting of the bank's Monetary Policy Committee also indicated that the Fed may start to pare back its $8.8 trillion balance sheet relatively soon, after raising its benchmark federal fund rates. The sell-off in Bitcoin coincided with a sharp downturn in equities, with tech taking it particularly hard. The NASDAQ Composite Index was off 2.7% to 15,190, faring worse than the broader S&P 500, which was down 1.4% to the 4,725 shortly after 3 p.m. Bitcoin wasn't the only cryptocurrency falling hard on prospects for higher interest rates and tighter financial conditions. Ethereum was off by 4.6% to 3640, and these fell a little bit farther after this too. Right now we're about these levels, fighting off tough resistance now that used to be support. Many other altcoins were faring worse, with Solana down 6.3%, Cardano off 5.4%, and Terra falling 7.4%. The sell-off in Bitcoin is another sign that it is acting more like a tech stock than an inflation-fighting store of value or digital gold, as its proponents argue. Bitcoin's limited supply of 21 million coins means that it can't be depreciated like fiat currency that are vulnerable to inflation and loss of purchasing power. Bitcoin's fans argue, but it has failed to hold up, at least in the short term, coming under pressure as the Fed and other central banks pare back on excess liquidity measures and prime the markets for higher rates this year. Other cryptos also appear to be performing more like emerging tech bets than alternate assets, correlating with the performance of the NASDAQ in the near term. Higher interest rates and tighter financing conditions are designed to prevent inflation from spiraling further. A side effect, though, is that they tend to hit speculative assets as investors opt for safer investments. Tech gets hit hard as investors rotate into value, energy, and other sectors that could do better in an inflationary climate. Indeed, Bitcoin's slide has coincided with the 10-year Treasury yield surging from 1.52% on December 31st to 1.71% currently. If Bitcoin and other cryptos aim to be viewed as true alternative assets, they will need to start performing that way. So far, the markets are treating them like speculative, high-growth bets, vulnerable to the same financial conditions, now pushing tech stocks into a tailspin. And that's absolutely correct. So Bitcoin now is at 43,532. What we're doing right now, we're pulling this M down, guys. I mean, look at that in the monthly. It's showing us exactly what's going on here. We don't have to hide it. We don't have to fight it. It's going to be brutal. A lot of times you come back into these accumulation zones. I'm not afraid to say it. I've talked about it a lot of times. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of Bitcoin. I'm not afraid that the daily says we got to come down here. 22,000. Right? We know what's happening. But we also know what happens in segments. And there's a lot of money to be made on the ways up and the way down. So, yes, it's harder to make money on the way down if you're not shorting. I understand that. But every time you get a bounce to the bottom, you know you're going to get some kind of rally back up. So, right now, Bitcoin, it's simple. We have resistance, 44,208. Inside the channel, though, guys, just like we talked about right when I had the drop. We just came inside the channel. So I figured we'd retest the top. Then we'd come back down. But we might not even get up there. We came back in the channel, and that's death. This is death to Bitcoin. That means we have the potential to fall way farther. We can come to 41,994 and have that double bottom, but it's not guaranteed. We would have to hook around real quick right now. The longer we consolidate here, the less likely it is that it would only come to here. It would have to come drag down. So right now, it's the perfect opportunity for it to come down, right? Maybe come into here and then bounce up if it wants to. But with what the Fed released today, and that's why I read it to you, that's a bearish continuation pattern. This could very easily continue down to 38,000. I'm just telling you guys, I'm just sending the messages, trying to help us pay the bills. We're looking for the 41,994 double bottom. But what we're seeing right here, this might in fact come down through it. But we're going to find out in a very quick and swift motion here. Make sure to hit that like button. Like I said, Randad Hoy, thank you for joining Tom's Army. If you too want to join Tom's Army, it's a great day to do it. Saved a lot of people a lot of money. We're getting better positioning. I know we have a bet. If it gets under 60 cents again, some people would join. So if you want to beat that, if we got another bet if it gets to 52 and yada, yada, yada. So XRP, and then I'm going to release this because you guys really need to see this. So we've got support right now, and we did have a wick down, remember, past this support, but right now in the area, the support's 75 cents. So we've got resistance of 803. The thing with right now with XRP is we're following this perfectly back down on the trend line. So I think we're coming to 57 cents. The fact we broke down below 75 cents tells me at some point here relatively quickly, it's going to come back down here and start to use this, and then it's going to propel us down probably into this area. So, and yeah, that's June because that's out in the 30-minute, but just, I mean, January, not June, January 10th, and we're at January 5th. I don't know if it's going to take that long, but it might take a minute to get all the way down there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we just did this, bounced up, and then all of a sudden had a quick flash drop, and then bounced out. Because if we're going to bounce out, we're going to do it very quickly. XRP Future Millionaire, make sure to hit that like button. Turn that bell notification to all. And subscribe to the channel if you're new or returning. It's free. We just went over 5,400 subscribers. Check out my Swing Traders Anonymous. We're less than 47 subscribers away from partnership. I need a little bit of help. So if you guys aren't subscribed there, please go over there and subscribe. We got like 10 new subscribers today after I mentioned it earlier. So I really appreciate that. Not many of you from in here are subscribed in that channel. Probably less than 5% on this channel or 10%. So, it is what it is. I wouldn't expect you guys to be in there because that covers Bitcoin, Ethereum, the total crypto market cap, Tether, the Bitcoin Pro shares, the BITO ETF in the stock market. So, and also Bitcoin. So I wouldn't expect you guys to be in there. Some people like it because it keeps you ahead of the whole market, and it would have kept you ahead of this. It's invaluable. So, there's a reason why 953 people have subscribed to that channel in like 3.5, 4 months. So we've got, I'm targeting 22 cents. This is the typical failed handle. Like I told you guys when it failed here, I told you guys it was over. Because we came down too far. We came up here, retested, confirmed that resistance area and set a support. Now the handle poured. Now we're probably going to come down here in my opinion. And then I think we're going to have created a head and shoulders, and then we're going to have to deal here. And then we're going to make up our mind at 30.5 cents. But are we going to care if we start at 22? I'm sorry, it should have been a little farther, but are we going to care if it's at 22 cents? So this should have been here. No, no one's going to care because that is a hell of a rally just to start. Just to start. You're talking 38%. It's going to go much higher than there if it clears this. It's not going to fail it twice. If it does, we'll take the 38%, and then you're going to have to decide what to do up there. But that's what I'm seeing there. So pay attention there, and then DGB. Can I say? DGB's fighting between our zones. We're trying to get back down to 2124, but right now we have 3176 being used as resistance, 2561 is support in the area, and then 2124. Longer consolidates, the farther this has to fall down, and this isn't far enough of a fall for that sideways consolidation. This is a bearish continuation pattern, and we're going to continue probably the same length down that we just fell. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. XDC, that would have been if we rode the top, remember, but we failed the blue line, and that's what we talked about, the come down if we failed. I know I keep keeping this up because I want you guys to see the difference, but I also don't want to confuse now that that has no chance. But that, look how perfectly that ascending support line played beautifully. Fake breakout, it held. Now we're likely going to come back down to the symmetrical triangle, guys. That's the uptrend. We broke down the uptrend, so now we got some problems. So, now what happens? Well, doesn't look good. Looks like we're probably trading between 9.6 and 9 cents. If we break 9 cents, that's the 3-hour time frame. At 8.8, I mean, we're going to come down to 8.3 and then probably 7.1. Nobody wants to hear it, but if we can hold this, it's just like XLM right now. It's not a failed cup and handle yet, but if it goes down a little bit farther past 8.8, it's over. So take this update for what it's worth. Make sure to hit that like button.